I'm here today at the Salford Veterans Breakfast Club in Winton. I'm joined by Glenn Croston.
Hi.
Now Glenn, we're here today with two very special people who are relatives of VC winners.
Yeah.
Could you tell us why they're here today and what you propose to do with these gentlemen's hallowed names?
Right. Well, as you know, we're doing some tracing families, predominantly for the 29 servicemen from Salford that we've lost since 1945, but also families of the 8 Victoria Cross winners that have links to Salford. I've been lucky that we've managed to trace 3 relatives of the VC winners. When one of them expressed an interest in coming to the Magdalene Centre today to have a look at the memorials that we have on the wall here, I thought it was a good opportunity to try and get at least one of the other 2 to come, because they have things in common, and it'd be nice for the lads to see what they've got and to have a chat with them.
Yeah. Now, their names will be placed on a memorial bench, as you said?
Yeah, there'll be 8 of them in the concrete sitting area adjacent to Swinton Cenotaph. Each one will have his nameplate on it, and then in the square there will be a bio for each of the 8 as well, so the public can go along and have a read and see what he did to earn his Victoria Cross.
Very brave men. I've been looking into them both, the recipients' families here today. Incredibly brave men, aren't they? I'm just so pleased that they've been honoured, been remembered.
We remember the 8, and they won the Victoria Cross, so they reached a certain standard, and we respect that. But as I'm doing more and more digging, there have been probably hundreds over the years of servicemen from Salford who have earned medals for bravery, from the First World War right through. We had one from Iraq earn himself a military cross. So as you go back and you dig and delve, there are lots of guys out there who've done incredible things. And part of the Memorial Garden project is to bring as many of their stories to life for not just for the people like myself who are interested in military history and have some kind of affinity with them because I've served, but for the public as well.
Yeah. And also, it has to be said, you do a grand job here, don't you, the Breakfast Club?
The Breakfast Club's been running, we started it January 2015, initially at Pendleton Church. We've been here for just under 3 years now. Just like many of the other social groups, COVID hit us hard in terms of not being able to meet. The lads that we lost that didn't make it through COVID, and it's been slow getting it back together, but I think as you saw today, we've got a reasonable number of veterans in today, and hopefully it'll carry on.
Glenn, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing, and
welcome.
We'll see you on the 2nd of November, is it?
On the 1st of November, Tuesday, Swinton Cenotaph, parade for 10:45 for an 11 o'clock start.
We'll be there and we'll film it.
Thank you.
Glenn, you're a star. Thank you. As I stated previously, I'm at the Salford Veterans Breakfast Club in Winton, and I'm delighted to be joined by Margaret Clark, who she's married into the family of William Mariner, the VC winner from Salford. Now, the more I read about this man, he's an incredible, incredible chap. I mentioned him yesterday on the live Fred and Flinny show. He's just a character. He was the sort of man you would want with you in the trenches, put it that way. He died tragically just after receiving his VC, but Margaret, tell us a little bit about what you know.
I know that he was very instrumental in saving many lives when he infiltrated the enemy lines on his own, and I think he went back a second time as well.
He did.
And countlessly, loads of lives were saved. But he was a bit of a rogue.
Say, Margaret, I read about, I've written articles about this chap in the past. I was fascinated by him. When he won his VC, he was living in Broughton with his mum and his sister, from what I can ascertain. And he went to London on his own to get the VC, didn't tell his mum. She found out. She went to Windsor by mistake with her daughter. They got to Windsor and were told, oh no, it's at Buckingham Palace. She arrives at Buckingham Palace, the presentation had been made. She's outside with a cheering crowd as William drives past with the king waving. And I've read so many stories. He was a bit of a cheeky chappy, wasn't he?
I think he played it down.
Oh, he was.
I don't think he realised the significance of what he's done.
I think you've made it when your name's on a cigarette card, seriously. But he was feted throughout Salford, and he was loved. I think part of his charm was his like lovable rogueness about him.
I think so, yeah.
And the tragedy again is, he didn't have to go back and fight. They wanted him to be a recruitment poster boy.
That's right.
And no, he wanted to go back, and he died killing Germans in action again. He's an incredibly brave, I won't say foolhardy, brave man, and I honestly doff my cap. You also brought in, we'll put these into the article later on, Carl, photographs of William with his family and actual letters that he's written.
Yeah.
And they've been passed down through the years, haven't they?
I think they were just left in a drawer, really. They weren't necessarily passed down. They were probably going to be thrown out if we hadn't recognised them.
I'm so glad you saved him, honestly. Yeah. Gives you an insight into the man.
Well, it's historic, isn't it?
Of course. There's letters to his mum, lady friend, writing to him. As I say, he was a popular man, and just so proud and proud. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome, yeah. I'm just glad he's getting recognition.
He will be recognised.
Yeah.
His name will live on forevermore, as they say.
I think so.